Hi, welcome. I'm Priscilla Batzell. This is Expressionist Fluid Art Studio Gallery's demonstrations and tutorials. Let's have some fun. That's a 14 by 14 inch canvas. This is an OXO omelet turning flip and fold spatula. Start with the bloom base. It will be Sherwin-Williams paint, and I'm not sure if I'm going to add any black or not, but the white is eggshell. I'm going to put some around the outside edge as well as the middle. That might be more than I need. But the reason I'm putting it around the outside edge is because I don't want to have to flow the middle all the way to the outside edges to get it to spread. And I do need it to spread so it doesn't crack, because if it's too heavy, it will. The reason I'm doing a bloom right now is because I'm losing the light today. Even though my husband did a great job trimming the palm tree from in front of my window that was blocking a lot of it. Hopefully you'll notice it's a lot brighter than it was. I haven't made up my mind to do anything like spread the center because I want to do scoop and drag. Scoop and drag is basically putting colors down. However you put colors down doesn't matter as much as having a heavy layer, a base layer, so you can push your spatula or a palette knife underneath. I think that's enough. I'll just wipe that off on my studio rag. I recommend everybody find some old sweatpants and cut them up. Alright, so I think that doesn't look centered. That doesn't look centered, so I'm going to try and center it a little bit, because it's really important when you start spinning your turntable that your paint be mostly centered. I thought there was too much paint, but I really don't think so now. Violet. It's a custom mix. I was experimenting. This is another custom color. It's very turquoise. I mixed it. The base was frosted. That was a Prizm pour. And I'm going to assume that I put some aqua in there. And then I've got ginger flower, which is a primary element. And I might be using too much color, but we'll see. Then I have a primary element that's called orange peel, and I put gold sparkle in it. I'm a little nervous about that with the purple. Then I have Tuscan Sun. And it's time to grab the Amsterdam Black and Amsterdam White to use as a cell activator. White and then black. I can never make up my mind which is the better first color to put down. This is the mine gold. Now, no matter how disappointed I am initially with how this is working out, it always, the Australian Floetrol always encourages cells like crazy. And the same with the scoop and drags. No matter what you do, now might be the time to add that black. You know what? I'm going to do that if I can loosen it. This is Sherwin-Williams also. This is a tricorn black. You have to open the little hole at the back to make it pour. Never done it exactly like this. I like changing up what happens from time to time. And I'm kind of feeling like I might get lucky pulling some of these colors. I'm going to use the bigger, the longer, as opposed to the shorter. That might not have been long enough. And I'm going to scoop. Drag and wipe off. I have found that if I slow my roll when I first do this, I'll show you in a second. When I pick up my paint pattern, it's a good idea to lift and stretch. It doesn't really matter what happens too much around the outside because most of that usually goes away. I'm not sure that was a good choice because I like the pink I eradicated. See if I can use some of that over there to fill in. Alright, I'm going to tip this a little bit. Sometimes I just want to go back and put some white on top of everything, so I add some negative space. But I really like to take a chance and steal some paint from one place, transfer it to another. Especially the places that don't have any paint on them, because I did leave a couple gaps, which I'm going to get rid of right now. That was the ginger flower. Now that I'm taking a look, I kind of want to do some stuff. So I'm going to take some, whoop, there's the white I was craving. I'm going to move that. That's looking kind of cool. So we're ready to spin. Finally, huh? There's some good colors in there. Do I want to do anything to it? Do I have a skewer handy? I'm sure I always have a skewer handy. It's just whether it has the right paintball area on it. I like to put spirals in before I spin because they spread out nicely. That's a cool one. As is that one. The black and white ones are cool. No way of knowing what's going to survive and what isn't. But I'd like to make it look as interesting as possible to begin with, and it does. I could kind of, if it wasn't a bloom, I could leave it. I'm always afraid when I start the turntable that I'm going to spin it so hard that I'm lifting it right up. I'm not sure I have enough room. Yep. I just got it in the legs. I should have moved my spinner back some toward the back wall. That's going to be pretty. I'm moving it back. That's a little better. I do need to try and see that the design has moved out over the areas that I started by swiping in the corners. But I like the idea of having some negative space that's kind of roughly around the edges. As long as it's thin enough in the middle to not crack, I can leave it. That's pretty interesting. I like these rivulets. I really do. Am I done? That's the question. Do I have another palette knife that I could play with? I have a tiny palette knife. That might be perfect. And that way I can also test to see what's still heavy. Let's take some of this, move it there. And same with this. So I got to keep some of the edges. I think there's room for one more spin. I mean, it's almost spun out enough, but I'm not 100%. Also, I'm not sure my head isn't in the way the whole time I'm doing that. And I do apologize if it was. It's very hard to keep track. Once more to the left, your right. There we go. That's the healthiest spin I've had. I'm not sure which way up is the best. I'm also not sure I'm done. Kind of feel like adding some textural elements in there. Alright, I'm going to give it one more go. Even though I said I might not. Maybe one more go in each direction. And then I'm going to grab a straw, I think. Fill in one corner. I know I put paint all the way to the corner, so it must just be drying there. This looks kind of fantastical. I kind of like, I'm trying to decide if I like this misty area. And I kind of like to see what it's like to add some texture just by running a skewer through it now. And then not worrying about spinning again. Not sure that was a great idea. I can always put some white in my gaps if I want to. Alright, let's quick like a bunny give you guys a little shimmer. Oh, that's pretty. Which is the prettiest way up? I'm not certain. Pretty pastels. Interesting. I don't have a favorite direction. I'm going to look for bubbles. I'm going to pop them when I find them. I'm not sure what that was. It'll take me a minute. Always look, whenever you spiral, look for bubbles in the center. Please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you for watching longer. Thank you for the donations that help keep my studio alive and painting. My community board is going to show you tomorrow's video. I love you guys. Take care of each other. My email address is under the video, but it's EASPB and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com. I sell my artwork and I love you guys. You inspire the heck out of me. I'm going to say goodbye for now. Paint pouring recipes underneath the video. If you have questions, feel free to ask. I encourage you to ask questions. Thank you for joining me. Please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for sharing my videos. Thank you for watching longer. My email address is EASPB and the word gallery spelled out at gmail.com if you'd like to inquire. An artwork. Linked, or you'll find Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter links, a couple of my websites, my Amazon link. Volumes 1 and Volumes 2 of my books are on the Amazon link. Because I Can and Unlimited Possibilities, the first and the second 100 videos I made for YouTube. Questions are welcome and encouraged. My community board will show you tomorrow's video. Thank you. Thank you to all my patrons. Thank you to the members. Thank you to those of you who use PayPal to make a donation to keep me painting. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys endlessly, and you inspire me always. My paint pouring recipes below show more. Thank you for being here. Bye for now. Priscilla out.